All right. Well, here we have another play all three. This is in Group B. Excuse me. Sorry, I keep forgetting to switch this until after I start my intro. Unprofessional caster over here. We have two players in Group B. Earlier today, we casted Winchester against Song Song in Group B. And here's two more in Liereyy and Slam. And I'm trying to remember on the top of my head who else. I think Backed and Capoch. Backed and Capoch are the other players in Group B. If you've been paying attention to the groups, I think Group B is potentially the most interesting because I can pick two players that I think I would put money on not getting relegated, and that would be Liereyy, and then that would be Winchester. And no spoilers for those who didn't end up seeing the Winchester series, but you should watch that if you like wonderful execution and some crazy strats. It was a crazy set from Winchester, and Song Song, he had some cool stuff going on there as well, but again, there's only 2 players out of 6. There's 2 players out of 6 where I can say, hey, guess what? These players aren't going to get relegated. I don't think Slam will, but honestly, I could see it because Slam does sometimes underperform in tournaments. Same with Backed, same with Capoch, and then same with Song Song. So we will find out. Slam has gone for the Burgundians here. Game 1 is fortified clearing. We've seen a lot more fortified clearing than I expected to see in the group stage. I don't know if that will continue or what, but I've really loved this map. The games have been top tier. There's no walls on the backside, so the players have the potential to be aggressive back there. And I think what I've liked the most is how we're seeing players wall already. Like, players are being super strategic and walling the sides at times if they push the middle. But we haven't seen the Khmer yet on this type of map, guys. So, Khmer... Wow, interesting choice from Liereyy. Did he prepare something for the first round? I mean, Khmer are really good with fast castling. Don't get me wrong. You do not have to build your required buildings to go to the next stage. And I remember 2 years ago on Hideout, players were picking Khmer a lot for that reason. You'd have like I think the best booming fast castle time with Khmer, if my numbers are correct, I think it's 23 pop. I guess you could get away with 22 if you don't need the wall. We'll see. I think it's 23 pop. And I think it's like 1335, guys. I don't know if my math is correct on that. 1330, 1335. Fast Castle. You can't afford to be able to go for 3 TCs right away, but you can add the second town center. And yeah, I mean, Slam's probably on the other side like Khmer. Probably did not expect to see Khmer. Yeah, there's one player, Skill Yourself, and I uploaded a few videos with him, with the fast castling with Khmer on Arabia. And that's where I'm getting this 1330 from. 1330 either into one Stable Knights or into the second TC, depending on what you wanted to do. So I expect this to be pretty quick for Liereyy. But for the players who, for someone like Liereyy, I don't think he's coming in here super prepared. I think he's going to get familiarized with the settings as he goes on. So with the way this is formatted, really important for Slam to maybe get some wins. Because there'll be 4 more rounds after this. It is play all 3. You have to expect Lierey's going to heat up. And so odds are Liereyy might get 3 O's or 2 1s against opponents later on when he plays them. So if Slam wants to get kind of a leg up on the competition here, it would be awesome to get 1 or 2 wins. The mullet map. That's awesome. Also, Ward, hello. He says, been a while, but I'm back. Thanks for all the great work. Hey, thank you. Yeah, and for anyone who watches this later, I'm also like trying to rest my voice a little bit. I did do a long stream earlier. I'm going to be streaming a lot over the next couple days. Starting to sense that my voice is just fading a little bit. Not a big deal. You don't need to worry about me. It does happen. So we're just going to be more relaxed, more chill. But yeah, I expect Fast Castle from Slam. He has placed houses here. I think the most interesting thing that we've been seeing on this map is the walling into the forward towers. That's like so crazy. To wall up, which is a defensive move, but then go forward and pressure the stone walls. I really like that. Might be because, you don't want to be in a situation where they pressure you on the outside when you go to the inside. But we haven't seen many players try and pressure the outside yet. We had instances where villagers died while they were walling. But I think maybe as the rounds progress, people are just going to realize that no one's going to pressure the outside. That could lead to some people pressuring on the outside, but we'll see. But yeah, this is going to be 23. Pretty much what I expected from Liereyy. 23 pop. 4 on gold, though. I don't think he needs 4 on gold. Or maybe I'm missing it. We'll see. Well, no, he's only at 300 food. He's got Novils queued. 80 food here. About to run out of food there. We'll get another like 100 food from this and another 140. It'll be close. Meanwhile, Slam's walling up. Honestly, hasn't scouted too well because I think he should just go to the edge of the map here. But not the end of the... Oh, this is so bad, actually. Just delete that, Slam. I think Slam should delete this. He seems concerned right now. Like, Lierey's going to send his scout over. Slam does some funny things in tournaments sometimes. I think it's the nerves. I once did it. I've done a couple weird things in tournaments as well. And that's not including the archery ranges. I've done some other things, so I can understand it. Yeah, he's a little concerned just in case Liereyy would be heading over here with his scout. He's starting to get the walls down just in case. And even sending another villager here. So yeah, he's just playing super safe. Has the barracks. And then you do actually have Liereyy heading out here. So choosing not to go to the middle, but trying to loop around. Obviously, Burgundians can research those eco upgrades an age earlier. So for Slam, his eco's looking pretty good. But has had 2 villagers not working. Which doesn't feel too good when you only have 26. For Liereyy, he clicks up. Let's see if my time's correct. What did I say? Like 1330? It'll be about 1315, I think, for him. And yeah, you're at the limit. But you're able to do this with the Khmer because you do not have to make the blacksmith, the market, the barrack stable, whatever it may be. And so with horse collar in, he's going to start to seed farms. He'll rush to get his wood upgrade next. And I don't think he's going to be able to... What? Wait, what? He's adding a stable? The thing is, guys, you're so at the limit with this, right? So in my experience, if you're going to add a stable, it's going to be like an all-in attack. Like if it was Arabia, you would go out and you would attack. I don't know. Like I feel like Slam's position is going to be just as fine as Lierey's. Because Lierey's not going to be able to do much. Like... He's not going to be able to make scouts that easily. Let's see. Did he scout the relics? He scouted 1 relic. And here he is just attacking the wall. But okay. Slam will easily be able to drop the town center. Slam does have a stable so he can make some scouts. Slam actually ended up going to the right side, not the left side. That stable's still super weird to me. And we're going to have the monastery now for Liereyy, who might send one of the scouts to the middle. So I guess the approach could be to try and fight for all the relics. I'm just not the biggest fan. Fighting for relics is good. But I feel like if you're going to fight for relics, maybe you don't pick Khmer for this. But we'll see what he ends up pulling off in terms of everything else. But again, Slam Scout will not be able to compete in the middle for relics right now. There are actually 3 relics over here. For sorry, I said Slam Scout. I meant to say Liereyy Scout. So... We've tried, right? It's not perfect. I'd say about 90% of the time it's 2 relics on the left, 2 relics on the right. But the way scripting works is sometimes you just can't be perfect with that. I think as well, we've got more gold on the right than the left. There's actually no gold over here. So it looks like maybe a relic and a gold swapped or something for some reason. It doesn't happen too consistently. Yeah, this is kind of what I mean, though, right? Like, he's getting the TC at a time that Slam's going to be able to get as well. But, okay, not the end of the world. Slam is actually going to send 2 scouts this way. Interesting. Okay. So this could be a big issue for Liereyy. I don't see him saving this scout. I don't think he can make it all the way back. Slam just needs to make sure to not chase with 2 because sometimes they'll bump into each other. Like, watch. Oh, actually, watch this. But now watch this. So they're going to bump into each other, and the back one is going to block the one in front. Slam should know this by now. Hasn't happened yet. Maybe I'm wrong. I could definitely be wrong. But now I want to be right. Quick Slam, get husbandry. Aha! Aha! The blocking is happening now. You see what I mean? Now they're further behind. That could have also been because of a hit. Okay, never mind. I don't know if I look too smart right now. But I also don't know what Liereyy does. Ooh. Okay, Lierey's going to hop into the house. He's going to hop out. He's going to try and fight, I think. No, he's not. Okay. He thought about it. Liereyy did get 1 relic. Make it 2 relics. Make it 3 relics, actually. So he definitely is winning the race in the middle. And Slam does see this relic. Well, I'll be curious to see if he notices the other ones. He actually didn't notice this one. And he's just going to attack the walls. Slam, though, will be 3 town centers. Liereyy only 2. I guess Lierey's going to be on 3 in a second as well. So overall, it's not too bad. And for Liereyy, he knows there's 1, so he might consider trying to convert the light cav, but I don't think Slam should let that happen. T90, did you just start live? Yeah, I just went live 15 minutes ago, man. Welcome back. I think I saw you earlier, but I forget now. And I think right now, the pressure in the late game is always going to come towards the middle. Now, what you can do is you can distract on the sides, which we've seen many times. And if you're distracting on the sides, players are going to have to react to it, and then you can push the middle. But ultimately, like, the main priority is the middle. You use the sides to threaten and confuse. Slam at 38 villagers. If Liereyy wanted the relics, he got 3. Slam is going to end up having 2, though. And it's going to be 3 for Slam as well if he continues to hold the left-hand side. Looks like Liereyy deleted a wall and let the scout out. But Slam notices this. So ultimately, I do think Slam will end up killing another scout here. KD is only 1-0. And we have Liereyy heading out with 5 monks in one group. And he doesn't even have Sanctity to give his monks more HP. This bothers me so much. This brings me so much pain. This should be punished, but I guess he's thinking there's no way he's going to have more than just 1 or 2 light cav. It does look really funny. It does look hilarious. And here they go. Now they all get to fight over it. You're like, well, there are blessings in heaven waiting for the person who gets this. Ha! There we go. Okay, then now they kind of have to work together. And there they are. There's Liereyy and his monks. Nothing else to look at right now. This is the pro content that people subscribe for. This is actually the type of content that makes me really feel bad about the content I provide. Because if this gets more views and more likes and more comments than all the stuff I put a lot of work into, what am I really even doing here, right? Like, that happens a lot, you know? So, you know, we'll put this out there somewhere. It's just 5 monks walking. That's it. Just 5 dudes. 5 guys. Oh, this is not sponsored by 5 Guys, by the way. However, 5 Guys, if you're interested, I'd probably still say no. But thanks for asking. Okay, so Liereyy gets another relic. He's made a lot of monks. He's had 7 monks out. And Slam is escorting his monk on the left. And it is 64 villagers versus 55 villagers. Keep in mind that Lierey's now researching wheelbarrow, which does delay that TC. We now have a university for Slam. Honestly, the rimp times are going to be pretty close, I think. As for the rimp compositions, if you forget elephants exist, I think that the composition's better for Burgundians. But it is a pretty boomy map, so maybe we could see Liereyy do something. Nope! Lierey's going to add archery ranges. Which tells me he is going to go for Arbalest. Now, if I were Slam, I'd be worried about Hussar. I would be worried about Elephants. You know, I might consider me getting Halbs. And look, he's actually making Spearmen. Slam doesn't know what to make right now. And that's probably due to the fact that Liereyy picked this civilization. Oh my god, look at all these monks, dude. Oh god. Okay, the 5 monks are back. Here they are. This is their point of view. Hold on. There we go. The 5 monks are back. Khmer get Arbalest, but they don't get Thumb Ring. Here they are. They're happy they got the relic. Now they're looking to convert some people. Now they're splitting up. This guy over here has died, and these 2 heard about it, and they're not happy. They're like, you are a sinner, and we will bring you... No, they're running home now. I know that, like, there's this promise of them going to heaven and whatnot, but they still don't want to go, you know? Am I right? You like to know that it's there, just in case, but... Oh, God! This could be painful! Liereyy will lose all of his monks. Oh, wait. Not all of them. Well, no, he does lose all of them, but there's a positive to this. It's that 2 people have been converted to then die on the other side. All right. Wow, I mean, very even game economically. And we now have a forward castle for Slam. Something that could be denied by Liereyy. Just will Liereyy know about this? And I think that answer is no, unless he loops back with this light cav. If that was Doubt, all 5 light cav would be insta-converted. Okay, Doubt complains a lot about his conversions baskets. I literally saw Doubt click the light cav upgrade last week, okay? He had 6 scouts against 6 monks. Clicks the light cav upgrade. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Slam. Uh-oh. 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 Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Story time postponed. This castle's not going to go up. Speaking of Doubt, this castle will not go up for Slam. He's trying. He's at 89%. What a disaster opening this would be. Oh, no. Slam. 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. Ah! 99.82%. No. Guys, I just had to talk about Doubt. That's it. I just had to say his name and it happened. What mysterious powers do we have here? Okay, castle completes. It's fine. Castle completes. Holy crap, we've had some interesting moments in this game. Let me finish my point though, okay? So, I know Doubt's, complains about conversions. He had 6 scouts. There were 6 monks on the field, right? He clicks light cav, and he takes the fight 5 seconds. Also, what happened here, Slam? 5 seconds before light cav comes in, and then he's like, oh, my light cav got converted. It's because they were converting for so long before he was light cav. So anyways, sorry, I really should be talking more about the game here. I am tired. Just relaxing here. And Slam just did not expect that. Like, a lot of people are going to look at this castle and say, what on earth was he doing? He had no clue. He didn't know what to expect from Khmer. He is going to get Cavalier now. He's getting Castle Age armor. All this stuff feels kind of late. For Liereyy, he does now know that this is not going to be any type of ranged unit for Slam. At least he doesn't think so. He didn't get to see the archer range foundations, I don't think. And he's going to drop a castle here. Meanwhile, we have Paladin on the way for Slam. But Paladin off of 81 villagers is not that great. He is adding another town center. He is also going to look and see if he can get the relic on the left, as well as he's building up on the right side. But for Liereyy, I would say that you want to win this game as fast as possible. You want Arbalest and you want Halb, and you need to get that mass going, and you need to get Trebs going as well. Slam's actually making petards right now. This is very weird. Is he going to petard into Lierey's base? It's actually not a bad play. Again, a very weird game, though. What he doesn't know... Oh, he's making hand cannons. Okay, so I guess he's making hand cannons for some Halbs that might be there. But he does not know that Lierey's going to have Trebs on the right side, and he's going to need Paladins to engage against that. Liereyy having 21 Arbalest, you're going to need a whole lot more than just 8 Paladins. But hey, you get to like 12? That's an easy clear up for the Paladins. I feel like both players have much lower economies and much lower army numbers than I was expecting at this stage of the game. But I think it's just they both rushed in so fast. That's why we're seeing it this way. And Slam completes Paladin. And he will go out here with his 9 Paladins against these Arbs. And Liereyy doesn't have Halb here in support. And here's Liereyy. We'll see his micro. He actually doesn't have ballistics yet, guys. So Liereyy missed a couple of those volleys. Now the Paladins... We have the new melee pathing. Let's see. Let's see if the Paladins bump into each other. I hate the way they just lag behind. You know, it's so hard to get in front. Feels like Slam would have wanted better hits there, and now he's going to have the Halbs here. Still tries to get a surround. Runs into the castle fire now. And yep, just Paladins, tough to engage when archers are on the move, man. Slam still has the petards. He does have hand cannons, but good job from Liereyy to surprise here. Slam just started to make a trebuchet because he didn't know that Trebs were being masked by Liereyy at all. And we have a castle for Slam on the right, so he's thinking about raiding Liereyy, which I don't mind, but obviously he needs to defend himself. Here he comes, though. Liereyy sees the petards. The petards go for the gate. And they bust it down, and here come these paladins, and all of a sudden the Halbs need to go home. So nice job from Slam to try and just distract, but I don't know, Slam. I feel like you still very much need to deal with this. Now the Halbs are out of position. Liereyy has to delete his walls, and the paladins are going to go in. And he just wants the trebs, I think. I think he just wants to take the trebs. And he's going to get them. He's going to get the trebs. And he didn't lose that many paladins. I mean, still, I think he's struggling right now with army numbers. But for now, he'll keep his castle up. I don't like the double gold comp for Slam. I don't think he necessarily has the eco for it. But I do like the bombard cannon. It'll be the same thing for him here. Oh, by the way, he'll start to make stables over here. This is where Slam needs to get a couple paladins attacking and just distract Liereyy. Liereyy loses some arbs, but it'd be worth it for him. And he snipes the bombard cannon. Slam can barely repair the castle. Slam doesn't have any villagers on stone right now. And Liereyy sees the trebuchet next. We'll go in for the trebuchet. But the paladins are now... Wait a second. The paladins are going in. It's really hard for the paladins to get around the arbalest, but they do. They get to the treb. They can also take the next trebuchet. And the castle fire has actually done some pretty good work on these Halbs. And all of a sudden, it went from 60 army versus 20 to 40 versus 30. Another bombard cannon goes down, but Slam's holding. We'll see how many paladins he gets away with, though. Liereyy finally completes ballistics. It's almost like that upgrade's important for archers. Who would have thought? Again, would love to see Slam make a stable here. I know he's busy, but raiding the economy would be such a big distraction. 28 on food versus 38 on food. Slam is definitely behind on the farm count. Hand cannons never fare well against arbs, so it's really the bombard cannons that he needs. We are seeing how awkward it is for the Khmer without bombard cannon. They used to actually get bombard cannon back in the day. Also, Slam hasn't checked for these relics, but of course he's busy. Also, Slam hasn't been taking this stone. Maybe a little questionable. Stone here as well he needs to take. It tells me villagers are headed there. Villagers are on the way now. I would say maybe try and snipe the arbs when you can. Oh my god. Holy crap, man. These Burgundian bombard cannons doing work there. Khmer do not get Thumb Ring for their arbs. They also lack the final armor upgrade on their Halbs, which does definitely play a role. Slam's attack rounds have worked out. He's getting masonry now. Lierey's got to be really careful with this. Because if he loses his arbalest, all of a sudden Paladin hand cannon destroys. 200 pop for Liereyy, who's building stables here to raid the side. Slam needs to notice this. It's wide open for a raid. A great job from Liereyy to just avoid the bombard cannon. Slam. Oh! Misses his shots. Does he engage here? I think he does. I think he ends up engaging. He loses a bombard cannon. Both are almost at 200 pop. Slam actually gets house tier 2, which hurts. Liereyy looking to raid again, like we said, but he will run into a castle there. Big engagement. Can Liereyy micro? We know he can micro. He does get hit. There's still 2 bombard cannons back here. The hand cannons are in front, though. The hand cannons need to be picked off as well by Liereyy. He's doing that. Slam backing away. Now taking the fight. That should be a great fight for Slam because the hand cannons are going to get so many kills. Should be a good fight. Should be a good fight. Where's the army for Liereyy now? Lierey's trying to get Hussar for raids. He doesn't have a lot in front, though. He's still done a really impressive job with his arbalest. I would have lost my arbalest by now. But it's 170 pop for Slam. It's 160 for Liereyy. One of the favorites going into the event, but he picked Khmer, a civ we haven't seen yet. And it's all Slam now. It's like Liereyy had his opportunity. He is going to save his trebuchets. But Slam can now pressure the castle. Guys, Slam has more paladins in Cuba. He has the hand cannons. He has the bombard cannons. Liereyy is desperate. Liereyy raiding here is also not that big a deal. Slam's going to wall it up. That should complete. When we talk about Khmer, we don't talk about them necessarily having the units that Liereyy might like. Arbalest and Halb with full upgrades. And Slam just needs to chill and back up for a second because the Trebs from Liereyy rain down fire on the bombard cannon. I think Slam may be getting a little bit ahead of himself here. I feel like taking out this castle would have been the wiser move. He does still have an amazing army count, though. And he also has had time to get his farm count a little bit higher. I'm sure he'll add more. Would love to see the Burgundian Vineyard upgrade. The thing about Halberdier and Arbalest is that the units are cheaper, right? And Slam is making double gold units. But in terms of the value, in terms of the strength, Paladin hand cannons are overall stronger, and mainly due to the fact that Paladin's got all that HP. And so you can see, like, Halbs without the final armor upgrade, and with any hand cannons out there from the Burgundians, it's a struggle, man. If I'm Slam, I take the Trebs. You can kill everything else, take the Trebuchets. He's going to get one. He might get more. The key for him here would be to make sure he's taking out the castle from Liereyy. Let's talk about gold for Liereyy here, guys. Is he about to run out? He's got gold here. Doesn't really have gold anywhere else. There's... Okay, this is hilarious. So we are going to have villagers from Liereyy. He actually didn't open... Wait a second. Okay, so I think these are the villagers that are sent to this mining camp. He didn't actually open this. So the villagers are somehow trying to get through. But anyway, Slam also has villagers on the way to the stone. And they both placed mining camps right next to each other. It's a little disappointing. I'm hoping that maybe they meet up at some point. Yeah, Slam just built another castle here, and now he's making Trebs, still making bomber cannons, which has been the key for him. But remember, there's so much gold on the right side, and Slam noticed that, and Slam has it locked down. And these villagers are going to die. I guess they got stuck there, and Liereyy just decided to make a lumber camp. With 4 trebuchets, though, it still depends on the micro. And a lot of this comes down to how many bomber cannons are out there. Like, that gunpowder is so important. And I'm looking at Slam's pop, but he's still not max pop. Liereyy max popped real quick. It's just he's a little constricted right now. He's stuck. Slam's hand cannon queue is higher. His paladin queue is not. You do not want to be floating resources at this time. There's Burgundian Vineyards, though. His farmers will actually bring him gold. Would love to see Slam get armor, which he is doing, I guess. And then fletching as well would really help his castles. We have conscription now for Liereyy out of that castle. And Lierey's just waiting. But waiting for what? He's not going to have access to gold. Slam gets his castle up. And now he even knows there's a relic there, too. We have siege engineers for Liereyy, so he's so scared. He doesn't want those Trebs anywhere near the army from Liereyy. That will give his siege more range. You know, I watched the Liereyy the Legend cast this week where a player went into a big fight without a unit queue. And honestly, I'm paying attention to that for both these players right now. Because for Slam, he's still going double gold unit. Boom! Lierey's going to lose his arbs. Another big shot. Liereyy can't take this fight. Liereyy cannot take this fight. If he doesn't have the arbalest, the hand cannons are going to shred the halbs. And sure, he might be able to take out a couple units here, but he's not going to take out enough. And Slam still has the stronger army. Did lose 2 bomber cannons, which must be so frustrating for him. These freaking Trebs, man. Another one! These freaking Trebs, man, are somehow sniping all of his bomber cannons. I don't know. Like, Lierey's unit queue is more consistent. I'm telling you. More Hussars, more Halbs, more Arbs on the way. Slam is also working with the more expensive units. At what point does Slam just make a dive in for the Trebs? Because the Trebs have just been a nightmare for him. Still waiting for that to happen, but oh my god! More bomber cannon keeps dying. I don't know how these trebuchets are like heat-seeking missiles here. I'd be losing my mind if I were Slam. And now this one finally makes it forward, but Liereyy picks that off as well. What is happening, man? Also, Hussars are running the whole way around the map. Slam did not wall and into Slam's eco. I think Slam is falling apart here, guys. I think Slam has had the winning position for a while. Liereyy is low on gold. He did have this gold here. I think that's his only gold left. But Lierey's production has been wild. And look at Slam. Having to place this castle is so bad. He should have stonewalled this. This is a stonewall every single day of the week, just like on the right side. I will give Liereyy a lot of credit because his units, man, they keep dying, but they keep coming back. Look at the KD. It's a 2-to-1 KD, but Liereyy doesn't care. Slam, you need this. Like, for the whole group, he needs this victory. This would be massive for him if he could get this victory. But I am getting some concerns here. Let's see if Slam can recover. Obviously, it won't matter too much for him if he can finish Liereyy off. Score is close. Lierey's army continues to meld against the hand cannons. He doesn't have many arbs. And finally can Slam take out the Trebs. If he takes out those Trebs, I don't see Liereyy making 4 more trebuchets with ease. The Trebs are going down. Slam's still getting super unfortunate. Because Trebs aren't 100% accurate, right? Like, sometimes he's trying to dodge and he's running into the shots. That Treb is also on very low HP and still hasn't died. And Lierey's still in this, man. Lierey's still in this. 135 eco. Slam has lost his castle now. More bomber cannons are dying. I cannot believe this. I can't wait to look to, at the value destroyed. Lierey's value destroyed stat is probably insane. And he can take this castle next. I think the fact that Slam is making Lycav is a really good sign for Liereyy. You need to be making Paladin. I can't believe this. Lierey's reinforcements have just been doing it for him here. He still should be at the limit with gold. This is his last gold. Now, he does have the 4 relics. Slam has had all this gold, still has this gold. Also, still has an opportunity to raid, right? Imagine if he would have ever run in with Paladins into the eco. Distracted Liereyy. He hasn't really done that at all. He's getting Hussar now. Still has plenty of stone, but I'm sure he's stressed right now because he can see the direction this game is going. And I can see the direction this game is going. Liereyy with his Hussars. Does have the stronger of the 2 Hussars. Both have amazing food eco right now, so that's fine. And oh man, Slam does save that bomber cannon. More siege workshops. How many times as he rebuilds a castle? How many times is Slam going to have to rebuild a castle and remake a bomber cannon this game? Honestly, he might be setting some type of record here. Lierey's Arbalest micro is incredible, but he has to be careful. Slam has to repair this castle. I would love to see Slam make more Paladins. He's certainly got the gold, but he's using the gold for bomber cannons. Is it finally time for him to say, get off my lawn, Liereyy? And those hand cannons, they do great against the infantry. They're not so good against the Arbs. And the Arbalest, still, they're out there, but there's not as many. And it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Lierey's given up on the raids, by the way. He doesn't think that's going to work because of the castles from Slam. And Liereyy is now... Is he out of gold? I think Liereyy is out of gold. Finally. His Arbalests have had amazing value. But if he can't make any more Arbalest, I think at this point Slam should be able to get the win. I think. Again, Lierey's just been fighting nonstop. As his Slam, but like for Slam, it's been a little unconvincing at times. Hussar, hand cannon, and then eventually Paladin, I guess, for Slam, which he still could do. He's got his farms bringing in food, but he also has had the gold income. If that's what this becomes, I think it ends up being a victory here for Slam. What a game. And this is what I'm talking about, right? Like, he's got this position. Attack with Hussars on the side, and Lierey's in big trouble. Look at Liereyy. I mean, he doesn't even have the position, and he's trying. Will kill some villagers here. Hussar, great unit to raid with. Doesn't cost any gold. So a good unit to have in the mix. We see Liereyy remaking Trebs. He's got the Trebs. He's waiting. They're both going to wait for that big fight here. And Slam push it back again. That Arbalest mass is really big. This is Lierey's last wave. Slam might recognize this. He probably has been thinking to himself, like, man, how is this guy still alive? How is he still making Trebs? I think we're just going to see Liereyy take the house or take the walls to try and get through. Slam sees this. Some Hussars made it through. I'm not sure how. I'm guessing they ran past that. I would have to look back to see how those Hussars made it in. I don't think Slam sees it because Slam is dealing with this. Lierey's trying to cut the trees right now. Still no fletching for Slam and still no ballistics. Really hurts. He's starting to lose vills. The bombard cannons, they haven't hit the group of Arbalest yet. The Hussars for Slam are so important as a meat shield here. And the Arbalest keep backing away. But Slam has continued to re-wall this. What a game. What a game. But now the bombard cannons are out of position. And there's a panicked town bell. What am I hearing? I don't know if that was intentional or not. But Slam just rang the town bell. I'm guessing that's not intentional. I'm guessing that was a stressed town bell. And now Liereyy who still has a Treb, has backed away to his castle. This is insane, man. This is an unbelievable game. Oh, but we finally have a raid from Slam. What is his... Guys, his eco isn't working because he rang the town bell. He's got like 40 idols right now. What is happening, man? Lierey's going to need to ring his town bell pretty soon. Okay, so something that's going to happen right now is there's going to be a massive vacuum effect. So Slam won't worry about this castle. So Liereyy actually has way more in queue. He's got about 50 units in queue, and he's at 190 pop. So his army count for the first time is going to be above 100 most likely. He is going to be making more vills as well, but he's lost so many villagers. And he will continue to lose more villagers where his army count spikes. For Slam, that could obviously be the same thing. But for Slam, I'm just not seeing the food floating, and I'm not seeing the unit queue. So I'm just not so sure on that. But, like, I'm also not seeing Slam recognize that he was raided there too much. Okay, now he is. He should be sending vills back to the farms. And another bomber cannon bites the dust over here. This is unbelievable. But guys, Liereyy hasn't had gold for a while. He's only had the 4 relics. This might actually get to the point where Slam's out of gold. And now, oh god, this tilts me so much. Oh, Slam is walling, yes. Because these raids shouldn't happen. This should be a waste of pop, right? You have all this control. Now, knowing Slam's luck, one of the villagers is going to block. Okay, no, he gets it. Who's winning this game? I want to say Lierey's winning this game because now Liereyy is going to start to raid on the right. Liereyy has 80 army. But Slam, as he gets fortified wall, has had the position for God knows how long to win this game. I just don't know if he has it anymore. 85 army for Liereyy. 71 farmers. He will now start to get some kills over here and could even take some of that gold. Slam drops another castle. Will, of course, not stop any raids, right? He's still going to need some stone walls. Slam going to get that relic as well, which is kind of funny. Also, probably needs to get murder holes because otherwise he'll lose his castle to hussars. Love what Lierey's doing. Okay, what Liereyy is doing right now is what Slam could have done when he had Liereyy on the back foot. Slam at that point could have raided the sides with a little bit, and I think it would have been over. It would have been so tough for Liereyy to deal with a middle push as well as the side push. So Lierey's got the position in the middle, right? And so he says, okay, I'm going to raid the sides. And it forces reactions from Slam, but Slam actually gets the wall down. So now you could actually make an argument that there's a lot of wasted population for Liereyy on the sides. Oh, nope. He's going to take this castle out. So his Treb's looped around. Dang, man. What a crazy game. But here comes Slam, and Slam's going to take out this castle. Slam's pop is climbing, guys. It's not pretty, but his pop is climbing, and he has 70 farmers. He also has the Halb upgrade, so he could make Halbs. I'd actually love to see skirmishers, because at the very least, that would get him to at least research fletching, which I think would have benefited his castles. I'm thinking we're going to see Liereyy try and Treb cut through the trees here. The castle should go down here for Liereyy. Like, Slam should find an opportunity to hit this. The castle actually has 30 kills, so this has been a really important castle, and Slam's now scared. He doesn't seem to have the control here. Backs away. Liereyy diving. Liereyy diving pretty deep here. Slam's still not having fletching for his castles, but his Arbalest, Lierey's Arbalest, sorry, could still get hit by the cannons. And they do. Great, honestly, great job from Slam to keep his cannons alive, though I still expect him to lose some. And Liereyy now has 70 hussars in queue. 70 hussars in queue, 15 halbs, also some arbs mixed in. He's sniped all the cannons now. And Liereyy can take gold, and you know he's got the Trebs, guys. Those Trebs are on the way back. Slam's military population is at 50. And guys, I've been around long enough. This is such a crazy game. I've been around long enough to have seen Slam in these types of positions. Positions he could win. Positions he could dust off some of the biggest names. And he just doesn't quite get there. And it's going to be a disappointing one if he loses this. Because, like I had said, I feel like if there's ever a time to beat Liereyy, it's opening up the rounds, different maps. Liereyy probably hasn't prepared quite as much. still, it just feels like the writing has been on the wall for a bit now. Another castle goes down for Slam. Liereyy now has more access to gold, right? Because he's got this on the side, though Slam has something to say about that. Slam also getting some raids in will be helpful. But that hand cannonball is only down to 12 now. And honestly, pure Hussar from Liereyy can win him the game. Yikes, man. Yikes, and Liereyy. What a comeback. What a hold. And what a comeback from him. He's going to go right into Slam's base. Slam's still trying to catch up with the Halberdier upgrades, which he's going to feel he needs. But this, my friends, is all about Lierey's victory. This should be $40 for him. It should be game 1. Even though Slam's population is high, I do not see how Slam can ever unravel this at this point. It's just going to be react, react, react. There's no real advantages for him now either. With Liereyy having the gold and both having 4 relics. And that Arbalest ball is going to be really tough to stop. Hussars from Liereyy splitting up. Hussars here, Hussars here. Hussars here as well, killing villagers on the farms. Slam selling food for gold. This is what we call the Panic Paladin queue. Are you in need of a really strong unit really fast? Well, queue up some Paladin with your extra gold. Oh, he's going for the revolution! He's going for the revolution! He's gonna revolt! Okay, so all of his eco turns into military now. So now Slam's like, I've got the military edge. And so when you revolt like this, guys, the key is to have siege to push the opponent back. Doesn't really have that. We'll get paladins in here, though. We'll get some damage in here. I worry for Slam, though, because that's it for him, right? He has to make more villagers now to get to his eco, and I just don't think... We'll see, but I just don't think that he's going to have a very high population in the next couple minutes. Now, somebody said earlier to me in another game, they were like, why didn't that person who was losing with Burgundians just go for the revolution? The Slam's done it here. It just doesn't feel like a position where it can win him the game, but it certainly, I mean, maybe gives him a better shot if he can take care of the Trebs. Okay, finally he can take care of the Trebs. 125 pop now. He does have 13 villagers. Yeah, I mean, I've thought about it a little bit more. I'm actually really happy that Slam did that. Would have maybe preferred he get fletching. You know, I guess he doesn't have any castles anymore, so fletching wouldn't have been helpful. But, yeah, okay. 175 pop for Liereyy, though. Down below 100 now is Slam, and it's all army that's disappearing. That castle, man. This castle now has 40 kills. This castle was maybe 2 bombard cannon, 3 bombard cannon volleys away from going down. The Slam is going to be out of juice here. Slam is going to have to tap out soon, I think. He is trying with the Trebs. He is trying with the Flemish militia. Yeah, and it's fun, right? I mean, probably not fun for Slam. I can guarantee you none of this was fun for Slam. This sucks. Had Liereyy where he wanted him, and now look, you know. So it's not fun for him, but it's fun for us at least, and it Slam's down to 40 pop. Guys, look at his KD. Losing a game where your KD looks like that is really, really painful. In fact, I don't know if I've seen a player lose a game where the KD looks like that in a non-Goth game. Like, I feel like that's the trademark of the Goths, is to spam endless halves and champions and take really bad trades but end up winning the game. Wow. Disappointment for Slam. I think Slam had the position in this game, but my goodness, was that back and forth. Liereyy takes game number 1. Khmer versus Burgundians. Mira says, I don't think I've ever been so frustrated on behalf of a pro player. It's sad, man, because, like, again, I didn't actually get to look at chat from you guys, but let's go back to this position, right? 180 pop versus 145. I don't know what you guys were saying because I wasn't looking at my chat. But when you've got this position on the right, and you have him on the back foot here, you continue to make him go back and forth. That's kind of the whole idea, right? I really wish I had stats for how many bomber cannons were lost. And we didn't see that from Slam on this side. The opportunity was there, right? And it was a little tunnel visioned. And honestly, I think Liereyy also did an amazing job. Liereyy killed so many bombard cannons. His Trebs also, he should, like, he should send the Trebs a thank you letter or something, because the trebuchets also were killing a lot of bombard cannons. But all of Lierey's attention, all of it was here, right here, for 20 or so minutes when Slam had control of the sides. You've got to push home your advantages on the side there. It doesn't even have to be a lot. I think like 5, maybe 10 Paladins, 5, 10 Hussars. And guess what? Liereyy has to send the appropriate amount of army here to deal with that. When he does that, boom, you show up to the middle with more. You just keep swinging. And I think that's something that other players have done quite well on this map. There was a game between Yo and Bro I highly recommend you guys see. In fact, that whole series was fantastic. So you should watch that. But yeah, Slam just didn't have it. Liereyy had the realization at some point that he could maybe raid. And again, you know, able to run past a castle. He never really had control here, and he got value. And we look to the KD, which we saw. We look at the economy. Liereyy had a ton more food, but Slam, 10,000 more gold, and he had 6,000 more stone. Still wasn't able to finish off Liereyy there, despite, I think, in many ways having some of the best units. GG. Game 2, just to repeat myself here for people who watch this later on. We have Golden Swamp, and this is the first time that I've seen Golden Swamp in the Platinum League. I think it's the first time it's been played. I actually have, up to this point, casted every set that's been played. I won't be able to maintain that, but I will do about like 60%, maybe 70%, because remember there's, isn't there like 9 play all 3s a week? Is that it? I think I could technically do 9 play all 3s a week. Anyways, forget about my schedule. We've got Liereyy playing as the Japanese in the red. In the blue, we've got Slam playing as the Mayans. And map Golden Swamp is a map that incorporates land and water. You've got the swampy region where your units can run on the amphibious terrain, but you also can dock it and use ships. And then you have a lot of gold in the middle. But don't think of it as Gold Rush, because there's quite a bit of gold next to your TCs. Though this gold, man, oh my god. What a painful gold that is. Because if he loses water control, and he might not even take water control, that's going to be ranged by Navy. He does have this gold, though, and he does have this gold. So, again, you've got 3 golds to work with. The other thing about this map is there's a lot of extra stone. Stone there. Stone... Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, stone there. That's actually not what I would consider to be a lot. So I was incorrect on that. Sorry, I don't remember everything. We did make some tweaks. Now, I've seen some people also. What's up, Endurance? I've seen some people just forget water. And so Slam picked this as a home map. So he might just say screw water. I don't think Lierey's going to do that, though, because Liereyy picked Japanese. So I'm expecting Liereyy to dock pretty early. We'll find out. The scoreboard's wrong. Oh, my bad. My bad. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to do that. Yeah, some of my favorite games on this map were with Celts. But I was talking about it earlier. I think it was before Celts got nerfed. You would see players go for an early barracks, and they would drush. And they would use the militia against fishing ships. But then Huang had to show up, and Huang started drushing people, and people complained. And, ooh, see? Here, I thought it was going to be for a dock, but Lierey's actually going for a barracks. Yeah, I mean, someone just said Slam's top 30. Well, he's top 24, right? Because he made it into Platinum based on tournament results this year. But as we see a barracks for Slam as well, I really think Slam showed that he can take wins off of big names. He could have beat Liereyy in the previous game. It was a bit of a throw for Slam, potentially. You know, some people will call it that. Other people will say Liereyy deserves the credit. I think both people are right. And you also notice there's a lot of food on this map. So we have any map that's a fast castle that doesn't start with walls. It might be this one. Liereyy going to make 2 militia. And it looks like 3 militia because he's collecting 10 golds here. Yeah, actually, Golden Swamp was kind of introduced after Hidden Cup. So they saw how like popular Cup was, and they wanted to make something similar to it, if I recall. They did the same with Cross, which is a popular map, and they named it 4 Lakes and made it around the same, right? I would say this is actually very different. It's not quite as complicated, but yeah, to people mentioning that, pretty accurate. I recall seeing Celts and Malians in the other tournaments that we had this map. But yeah, okay, so Slam see that. Slam sees it. Oh, man, but Slam, he's going with a villager that Liereyy did not see. And now Slam passes the militia, and Lierey's like, wait, hold up, what? Why a villager? Again, I think he prepped a strategy because he picked this as a home map. It's good for him, though, that he knows his opponent is doing this. Why? Oh, my God. Don't tell me Lierey's going to do the same thing. Is Liereyy going to... Lierey's sneaking as well. And Liereyy found this village. She's like, hey, what's up, Sally? Not much, Martha. How you doing? And they're going to dock the same spot. Now, that's just unlucky for Slam because I think Slam was trying to be sneaky. I still don't even fully understand it, but he was clearly trying to be sneaky here. And both players having this awkward scenario where they have to protect their berries. And Slam is probably walling in his berries right now, which is why he didn't fight. Now he's fighting. I still don't understand why you would dock here if you're Slam. I guess he didn't want his villager to get picked off. And he knew the enemy army was here. And then for Liereyy, he snuck out here because he didn't want his villager to die to the militia that was here. Very interesting game so far. But this is going to go to feudal age. And they do both have an idea of what has happened here. I'm going to assume anyways that Slam knows there's a dock here. Liereyy knows there's a dock. Oh, Liereyy runs into the TC fire. Good work there from Slam to add the gate. Both players on the way up at around the same time. So I'm going to restate what I had said previously, because I've been saying this a lot. So if you consider Slam to be a worse player than Liereyy, and I don't think he's far off, but, you know, in terms of execution, Slam can struggle in that regard. You've got to take your advantages when they come, right? You've got to take those advantages when they come. And the previous game was an opportunity. We might be talking 3 or 4 weeks from now about that game. If Slam is 1 win off between the difference of staying in for next season and getting relegated, we might be talking about 1 game. So right now, this villager for Liereyy is sneaking, and I'm not even certain that Slam actually knows that that villager was docking. I'm not even sure Slam saw the villager. I've just been assuming a bit. As Slam is going to be adding militia. He does take this gold. You can see Liereyy looking around. And I think we're going to see a sneak archer range from Liereyy, which will make things interesting. Positives for Slam would be he does have a lot on wood right now. So it doesn't look like he's going to have the wood for the range, but he will. And also Slam is probably going to go range at home anyways. So I think he can compete if any archers were to show up. Most likely we see the range right there. Yeah, so Slam doesn't actually know about that. But his militia is getting attacked there, and actually, that's good for Slam, because now he sees the dock. So now he knows to add a fire galley. Both players are adding fire galley. Is, of course, worth mentioning, as we see man-at-arms now for Liereyy, that fishing ships are very strong for Japanese. Also, Liereyy, underneath the TC, Liereyy, kill the buffalo, man. He could have killed the buffalo. Ooh, meanwhile, villager died over here. Liereyy didn't have a quick wall down. And that's our first eco KD of the eco kill of the game. That's actually our first kill of the game, man. I feel like we could have had 16 kills already. I'm sure it's about to change, though. Slam probably disappointed to see that Liereyy spotted him with this fire ship, but they are right next to each other. Okay, so the archers for Liereyy, where are they going to go? I feel like he's going to seed the archer here from Slam, and then he sends his archer right in on the gold. But he also doesn't have a defensive archer range, which he kind of needs because he needs to defend himself. He's probably getting sick of repairing there. Okay, so he's looping around. He's actually adding his skirms as well. This is going to be something Slam sees. And with this coming in like this, guys, there's no doubt in my mind Slam will know this is a sneak archer range. Slam has to know. And honestly, I think he could be okay. The scary thing is it's Japanese man-at-arms. And there's skirmishers to counter his archers. Some players are going to pull villagers here to fight and make it as awkward as possible for Liereyy to micro. Okay. Also, we got a fire for Slam and a demo on the way there. Okay, so he's choosing to run. He's really scared of this. And he does have the other wood line working, which I think is really important. And oh, it's a trick. It's a trick. They're like, nope, actually, we like our jobs. Sorry. We're just kidding. I don't think they actually like it, though. That's the thing. Fletching for slam is a big deal. Liereyy doesn't have that yet. And, man, this is messy. And also, the demo goes out. And that's an amazing demo. But the man-at-arm might make a difference here. I think Slam could have got the kills. Ouch. The small things, man. Slam will save his vills, though. Slam will save his vills. Okay, this is crazy, but I'd love to see Slam do this. Ready? Send all of his range units to Lierey's base. Yeah, screw it. Run off your berries. Just wall this and make a tower on your gold and just YOLO everything right to Lierey's base. I think that would be so hard for Liereyy to deal with if Lierey's got the forward range like this. Liereyy will lose an archer and will almost lose a skirmisher. And also is going to lose more to the TC if he sticks around. Yikes, man. What's the APM looking like right now, I wonder? Slam still has another fire. Still has to know that Lierey's got fish out there. Which is why Liereyy has the score lead if you're paying attention to it. These man-at-arms. Ooh, okay. They did get cleared up. Great job from Liereyy. And things are looking a little better for the Austrian now as he finally makes a dive with the man-at-arms. I was wondering if he was going to do it earlier. At this point, the Eco KD is 2-1. We'll see if that changes much. Will it be 3-1? Yep, 3-1. But Slam does have the better army. Skirmishers for Liereyy are actually microing in the stupidest of angles. Typical from him. And now the food eco is just a disaster. I think the transitional food eco, as I like to say, is much better for Liereyy. But, oh, the archers are here. This is what I meant earlier. If you have a forward archer range, you are exposed at home. It's just unfortunate for Slam that he wasn't able to see this. Because those villagers would have all died. He does get rather close to the TC here. Doesn't want to take any shots. We are going to have skirms at home for Liereyy. Because he now has to go for house walls. Meanwhile, Slam, maybe he doesn't actually know about this range. Certainly he will now. Now his villagers are exposed. And Lierey's just getting... Like, Slam actually has good positions. But Lierey's just making the most of every opportunity he gets. Slam just didn't have the skirms in the right spot. But he did add another dock. He didn't stop producing out of this one either. He might lose that now. And now the fire ships matter again. This is a ridiculous game. This is insane. I can't imagine how fast these guys have to be moving around right now. I'd be sweating. Physically sweating. Slam repairs one, misses the other. He's chasing this down now. But guys, Liereyy has so much food floating. Don't ask me how. He still has to chase all this down. I'm sure the deer helped, though. I'm sure the fish helped as well. Slam is kind of forever Castle Age at this point. Slam needs to get some really good engagements in before we see the Austrian on the way to the Castle Age. There's so many weak vills for Liereyy. Look how many weak villagers are here and here. And probably not too many over here, but he's probably got about 10 villagers that could have died, but he's just been able to keep them alive. That villager, again, good example. That villager's saved. Slam not able to make the kills happen, and now he's sending a vill towards the middle. Ooh, wait a second. Wait a second. Liereyy has no ranged army at home. Oh my god. What's happening? Slam, you've got to get villager kills off of this one. Finally, he gets his second eco kill. He should get 2 more. 1, at least 2. Liereyy is just completely dropping off. Is he microing another army? Okay, he's got the archers here. Holy crap, this is insane. Now, Slam has to react to this, which is not going to be easy. Villager down. Liereyy has to defend here. Oh my god, dude. There's also still fire ships on water, too. Holy crap. This game is madness. It's so messy. Liereyy is massing range units from home, but he just doesn't have the numbers that Slam has. And I thought Liereyy was going to be in Castle Age faster, but I'm not so certain now as he loses those archers. And those archers should just be able to head right forward towards Lierey's base. I know this comes off as biased and whatnot, but after the previous game, I really hope Slam takes this one. I feel like in many ways he deserves it. Again, just like the previous game, really good KD. I think he was at times maybe a little unlucky, but man, he's got a position now. If he can get across the water with those archers and hit this side, where he can make something happen. But he's struggling to have the confidence to do that. Markets would make sense for both players right now. We do have the market for Slam. I think we're going to see resources bought and sold. And Slam continuing to focus on water makes sense here. And he's actually going to get this kill, but he will probably end up losing his own ship. Liereyy now clicks up. Most likely going to go into some skirmishers. There's a lot of archers out there. But there's also a lot of skirms for Slam. And now Slam, you know, just a second, just doesn't fight. Now he's taking a fight that could be considered poor. Slam realizing this is just going to run through. Clicks up. Feels like a good spot for knights for Liereyy. He can't make many, but I feel like one stable would be really strong. And poor Slam is just so paranoid about this archer range that he has to respect it at all times. Yo, Winston's, what's up, man? And hello to everyone. Man, Slam somehow made it on his way up here. This might have been, of all the games that we have seen so far in T90 Titans League, that might have been the craziest feudal age sequence of all of them. We've had, like, Hera Dragonstar had some pretty crazy scout wars, if you like that kind of thing. But water, skirms, archers, men-at-arms, quick walls, I mean, that was insane, dude. In fact, I'd like to look at their APM spikes real quick. That's insane for feudal age. All of this is insane. According to that, Lierey's been the faster player. Liereyy does have the dominant position on water right now. Liereyy will also be in Castle Age faster. He does that as stable now. Also, as I've been saying for a long time, APM is a deceiving stat because sometimes you like use the scroll wheel for something and it just registers a bunch of different things. Oh, great repair there from Slam though. Look at that. Okay, so right now, Liereyy is feeling like a king. He's got crossbow. He's got bodkin arrow. He's going to try and kill villagers. He's probably going to succeed. Slam, though, with a sneaky army on the left. This is something that Liereyy will just not account for. Look at all of these villagers. What's going to happen? Crossbow's in. The gold is here for Slam. Remember, we talked about how bad this gold position could be? Well, guess what? He could protect it with his navy. He's getting the war galley upgrade. He also could move here. He also hasn't noticed this right now. Oh, no, for Slam. He's losing villagers. He's at 33 eco. He's at 32 villagers. Somehow it's 49 for Liereyy. But now Slam! He needs this. He needs to kill these villagers. Can you imagine if Liereyy didn't have this TC already on the way up? He would have been so dead, man. It's going to keep him in the game. And Slam still didn't notice this. TC goes up for Liereyy. Whew, man. And Slam, he's got Navy. We see a big demo there. He will control the middle, but he needs to defend himself over here. I think Slam might actually have to run his vills to the middle now. I think that's his safest spot. Meanwhile, Liereyy, another town center. Slam still needs to get a lot of value from crossbows. Yeah, I think we are going to see a town center from Slam on the middle gold right now. He cannot kill this. But if you can't kill this, that's an issue. At least Liereyy has... I think Lierey's got the opportunity to deal with this at least. Liereyy also still does have some things on water. He hasn't given up on water. He's just got a more of a balanced situation right now. And Slam, as these villagers run to the north, has added a siege workshop at home. Which means these villagers are destined to chop wood, I guess. Come to think of it, I think running to the middle would have actually been a mistake. Can't say that Slam didn't get value from this army. Still moving around. Navy's here fighting. That should be a fight that's better right now for Liereyy. Liereyy could take more losses. Slam is chopping wood up here for those wondering. And Liereyy now ran away because he saw the siege workshop. Whew. Liereyy with the pro micro demoing down the dock. Well played. But man, this crossbow's gotten so many assists. That crossbow led to another win earlier on water as well. And, well, gonna be honest, guys. Lierey's on 3 town centers. Even if it's just for villager protection at this point, I think it's good, but he is producing out of it. Slam's got 2 on food. He's got a crossbow mass on him right now. He doesn't have a demo on the way yet. His Vil count just continues to drop. His army count isn't impressive anymore. He's at 48 pop. And he's going to try. He's going to try and demo this, and we might get the highlight, but Liereyy, he doesn't like to be on the other end of the highlights. And he just stays away from the shore there. Will also use his fire ships to just take out the demo, and Slam's dead. Was a great game. Was a ridiculous game. But Liereyy ends up getting another win. Another game where it definitely feels like Slam can hang. But just can't quite go for the killer blow, man. Now, this one was not quite as simple as the other one. Like, I think game number one, you know, I could break that down and talk about how you take advantage of the sides there, push the middle, you win. This one was ridiculous. I mean, 99.9%. This is probably a dumb comment because 99.9% of players would die to these players in any situation, but 99.9999%, still a stupid comment, would have been completely and utterly overwhelmed with all that feudal age micro. The fact they both had the same castle age time was impressive to me. Gut-wrenching for Slam, obviously, because he picked this home map. Again, like, I was surprised he picked this home map. I don't think he played bad, but Liereyy was able to just have the better economy going up to its castle age, and this town center was huge. I think, looking back, it might have benefited Slam if you went for the siege workshop instead of the second dock, but it's really tricky because you also are going to want some amount of water control. Honestly, I think just reacting to this wood line would have been better for him. Losing that entire wood line really hurt him. Because it was losing the wood line, but it was also the fact that he didn't notice it. So he couldn't do anything to prep for the army to break through. And yep, that ended up making the difference. Liereyy up 2-0. Yeah, I guess for some people it is daytime right now, huh? Well, welcome, guys. It was a great game. Slam is playing really, really good Age of Empires. Again, like, it would be amazing for him if he could get a victory. If he's going to get a victory, it is going to be on Arabia. And I think we all know what civilization Lierey's going to pick here. He played Khmer before. He played Japanese before. Which civilization do we think the archer player Liereyy is going to go for on Arabia? I don't think the first dock position in that game was necessarily a mistake. I think it was just an instinctive thing because he didn't want to lose his dockville. It was just a really weird coincidence in the previous game that the docks ended up going close together. But, all right. Slam, down 2 games. If he were to get 3-0'd here, obviously disappointing. But Slam is going to be probably favorites in some of the sets in his group. It's an interesting group, Group B, because I think there's only 2 players that I have as guarantees to not get relegated in Liereyy and then Winchester. The others, it's all up in the air. Slam has been very close. He's played a very good series here against Liereyy. Also, the games have just been so intense. I almost wish it wasn't like 9 p.m. for me, so I could maybe match the intensity a little bit more. I'm used to casting in the middle of the day for me, but happy to be here. Glad so many people were able to watch and relax. And I was saying earlier, man, nobody picking Franks on Arabia anymore. We've got it here, but we also have Liereyy playing as the Britons. Classic matchup. Lovely civilization for Liereyy as he loves his archers. Now, okay, this map, if this was 2015, would be a fast castle map. We'd see a drush, we would see walls, and we would see fast castle. Are we going to see it at this time? Probably not. I think walls are too expensive. They take too long to build. I think it's too risky to do that. But if any map was maybe a fast castle map, Liereyy could attempt it. I do actually think his golds are going to be a really worrisome spot. You know, if he doesn't protect his main gold, there's no way he's going to take his other golds, and the game is probably over for him. Slam's base is really good for a scout start. And Slam's going to bring in his boar now. And I'm kind of expecting to see him go scouts. In fact, I can confirm to you he's going scouts. He's already with 2 on wood. Most builds require 3 on wood, but some players like to go 2 so they can just rush up a little bit faster and have 1 more villager on food. I think Franks can perform quite well against Britons, but it's all about the Briton archer number. And it's not even about the knight number for Franks. Again, it's the Briton archer number. An approach that some people fall into with the Britons is they go for the cheap town centers in Castle Age. And that's good, but I think you still need to have a lot of archers. If you don't have that archer ball, I think the civilization can struggle at times to get out of that hole. Though I have seen some instances where maybe they do that and they force their opponent into some rough spots. Did Liereyy just give Slam the sheep?
Yes.
Wait a second. Okay, so here are the scouts. Sorry, I got to zoom back in. So here are the scouts. Here's Slam's point of view. And Liereyy didn't move them. And Slam's like, oh, thanks. Well, that was nice of Liereyy. Laming is allowed. You can steal resources. Slam says thank you. Liereyy runs away. Liereyy with a little bit of respect there. I mean, he could have made Slam work for it at least. Thanks for casting at this time. Reslam missed a lot of this due to work. So it's nice to be able to watch the stream live. Yeah, happy to. Honestly, I mean, I like to do this. I can't match the same level of energy, but as long as you guys still enjoy the content, I would totally be down to do it a bit more. I think maybe over the next month or two I'll do it more because my girlfriend and I are both planning on just like working a lot, and I think she's going to be doing more stuff in the evening, so we'll see. Kind of looked like the boar was going to bug out there for Liereyy. And right now I'm thinking he's going to open with man-at-arms or archers. So you know what's a crazy thought? And I still can't believe as Liereyy just confirms that there's a low amount on wood, so he's going to expect scouts. But you know what's crazy to me? And I should make a video on this at some point. The fact that the old meta when drushing and fast castling used to be making the barracks after the mill. Like, no one does that anymore. Because by the time you're making the barracks and you make the militia, it just feels like it's way too late. The only drushes high-level players are doing is adding the barracks pre-mill. And that's somewhat recent, like over the last maybe 2 years. But I still like cannot compute in my brain how it made sense to go for the barracks after the mill in the past. Now, back then, walls were cheaper. Walls went up like twice as fast or something, so that definitely played its role. But still, I'm like, every time I see it, the pre-mill drush, I just think, how on earth did people do it the old way? Slam gonna wall up 2 lumber camps. Pretty standard approach for scouts. And I like the way he's trying to wall here. I think a lot of you watching, if you try and go for scouts, you want the ideal walls, right? You go full wall around the gold, and full wall here, and full wall here, and then you don't have the wood for your buildings. Someone shows up with army, and then you die. And then you're frustrated, and you say scouts don't work anymore. This sucks. Frickin' tryhards going man-at-arms. But if you think about what you need on a scout build, you need wood and you need food. So if you have a situation like this, you can just go for the small walls and you can do some damage to them. And then if you hold map control with your scouts, you can always go out and you can always take your gold later. So I like what Slam's doing here. He's going to be up lightning fast, but so is Liereyy actually. Lierey's going to go archers here. Not going man-at-arms. These are very quick feudal age times. Both players have a lot of respect for each other. Neither player really scouting each other right now. Slam went forward. I think he saw the new lumber camp and he said, oh, okay. All right, that's fine. That means he's not going to have a barracks and he's not going to have militia. So Liereyy also walling up. Obviously need to be careful with the walls now. Here comes Slam. He knows exactly where Liereyy is. And he sees the range. Usually there's going to be a spearman in this situation from Liereyy. Liereyy has a scout at home right now. We'll see if Slam wants to attack anything. Lierey's hiding this too. I think this is intentional from him. What he wants is he wants Slam to lose some HP here. See, Slam's like, wait a second. This is too good to be true. God, these guys are so good. See? Because right now, Slam's scout has more HP because he's Franks. But if he were to just get 2 hits from that Vil, then it's even. So Slam doesn't, he wants every little bit of HP. And he says, okay, all right. I see what you're doing here. Slam actually only made 1 additional scout. Oh, man, there is an opportunity here maybe. And here comes Liereyy now. I mean, Liereyy, he scouted everything but the golds. Slam's going to go for a pretty early range here so he can mix in some skirmishers. But I don't know if Lierey's going to do much damage there. And here comes Slam, and this is a big moment. Let's see if Liereyy gets the quick walls down. Again, the theme in the previous game was Slam getting close to killing villagers, but not actually getting the kills. Oh. Quick wall, quick wall, quick wall, quick wall. He's fine. Quick wall. No quick wall. Well, he's close to the TC. Okay, close to the TC. Slam will be happy to be able to run around. He will actually be trapped in here. Quick wall, quick wall. Should be a quick wall. There you go. Quick wall. Nice. No holes for Slam. Slam adding skirms, though. Something Liereyy can't see. I like that aspect. Even hiding the blacksmith. Slam is being super sneaky right now. Scout's great for map control. Slam didn't add many of them. And I would expect him to want to move forward with his skirms at some point, but it's tough if there's that full HP scout out there for Liereyy. Still 2 scouts. You could dive for a Vil kill, but I think it's better to distract Liereyy and make Liereyy have to chase you with the spearman all the time. And Liereyy didn't see anything still. So I think he's happy to maybe just continue to deny that gold. He's got to be thinking, wait, only 2 scouts from Slam? Well, then fine. Fine, I'll just sit on the gold. And Slam actually makes it out. This is really important. And also the scout from Liereyy has come home. So an opportunity for Slam, if you were to know that, to be able to kill this. And here he comes. Lierey's point of view, I think he's been mind gamed a little bit by Slam here. And boop. Okay, he sees the skirms, but great reaction. And this is where that starting scout can play a role. Slam, unfortunate. Should get a kill. What? Fortunate not to be able to get a kill there. He just wants to kill every archer. Remember what I said, that the important thing here is the archer numbers. And Slam actually takes out a spearman. He also takes out an archer. And now Lierey's like, ooh, I don't know. Expectation here is for Liereyy to just wait for the next stage at this point. Slam microing with the scouts, hoping to get Lierey's scout killed. He will not. So he'll have the chase with this scout possibly. And Slam's going to add a tower on his gold. I was wondering if he was going to do that. He's also going to send 1 or 2 villagers to stone to recoup the cost of that. Not an approach you see every day. I think the tower is because when the archer player is fully walled, they could sneak. Yeah, Slam's just going to sit here with his skirmishers, and at least for now, Lierey's not going to want to comfortably take a fight. Or no, he wants to comfortably take fights. That's what players want to do, but he won't be able to comfortably take a fight. Here comes the scout, just checking. He now sees the tower. So I don't think Liereyy knows about the stone. He does. It's not normally something you'd check in this situation. But normally you see that and you say, okay, well then I can add town centers in the next stage. And he cannot because he spent some on the tower. But guys, just think about the investment. Okay, so Liereyy has spent... He spent food on villagers and what? 2 spearmen? 3 spearmen? He didn't get any upgrades whatsoever. Slam spent food on 1 scout, 5 skirms, and fletching. So a couple hundred food maybe in there on production and feudal. So Slam spent a little bit more. Lierey's going to be up faster. Not the biggest difference, but again, the archer number's high. Liereyy is so good with archer civs. It's insane. It was his very first pick. He picked for Arabia, his home map. I don't think there's a single player that I have faith in more than Liereyy with the Britons. I wouldn't pick anyone to play Britons except for Liereyy if I had one choice. Slam will add the stable back here, and things are a little cramped. And he had to decide on if he wants to make skirms here, and he decided against it. Again, how important would it be for Liereyy to realize that Slam is on stone here? Slam is going to go into knights. And the crossbow timing is where games can be won or lost in these situations. Slam is aware that the scout's here for Liereyy. Liereyy now sees this. He's like, oh, wait a second. So he might be able to drop a TC. At the end of the day, though, as the scout's going to go down for Liereyy, at the end of the day, Slam needs to track this army. And it's not a big deal for Liereyy. If he's on crossbow bodkin arrow behind a woodline with 8 range with Britons, is not a big deal for him at all if Slam's going for TCs or not. He will add his TC. So he'll have the eco lead in that regard, and he's going to be sneaky. And Slam has no other woodline behind his walls here, guys. Will take him some time to mass the knights. Let's see if Liereyy can get enough. I think he can get a few Vil kills. He gets 1. Slam instantly reacts. And now Slam has to make a run for another woodline. And he's just going to run over here with everybody as he gets chain barding armor and queues up a couple knights. Slam, correct move, realizes the farms are exposed, realizing some of the gold's exposed, but loses that Vil. Here he just makes it look easy. TC up for Slam, another TC now for Liereyy. Liereyy now going for a siege workshop, which is just not the right call. Surely that's a misclick. Why would you go... I'm a little confused by the siege workshop. He might be expecting a forward from Slam or something. But what I was expecting was maybe ballistics. You would only want to add siege if your opponent is going siege on you. Or if your opponent is going to be going for skirmishers, which, at least at this point, Slam noticed, or Liereyy noticed that the skirmishers were not upgraded. Slam, 36 villagers. It is 43 right now for Liereyy. 3 town centers. Still keeping that 1 archery range producing. It does produce faster than any other civs. So he opts to go for the eco approach while he uses that range all the time. And for Slam, he's adding a Scorpion because he's paranoid. And you know, it's tricky against the Britons, right? Because siege in general just feels so useless when the crossbows outrange you. I wonder if Slam is thinking about game number 1 right now. He's probably just like, oh, yep, should have won that one. Game number 2, I think you can give Liereyy. This game, though, it's always going to look rough as he adds more Scorpions. Now, I'll tell you what I think is an underrated play with Britons. An underrated play with Britons is to go 3 TC boom off 1 range like this. And then go 2 or 3 stable knights or light kef. Of course, it depends on your gold situation. But usually they're going siege or skirmishers at this stage. And they want to kill you before imp, right? So a lot of the times what you're seeing is, again, siege or skirmishers. So you keep your archer number up. Get your eco on course. And once you have about like 20, 25 farmers, add 2 stables, and boom. You just run out of your base and take map control. I actually played a player who did that to me. And then the next time I had Britons, I did it. And the next time I had Britons after that, I did it. It probably just comes down to the fact I suck with Archer Micro, but people were like, oh, Mr. Streamer Boy, I heard he's good. And then they like completely overestimate my ability. And then all of a sudden, they go like heavy anti-Archer. And then I run out with skirms or whatever. Or not skirms, sorry, light cav or knights. Feels like Slam's going to go for a forward castle here. Here he comes. Liereyy is sacrificing this right now. Yeah, he's sacrificing the spearman to see exactly what Slam is doing. And now he adds his own siege. So adding another range. This would also be a great time for wheelbarrow out of one of these TCs because he's got enough farm. Oh, did I call it or did I call it? Okay. Wheelbarrow makes sense with this farm count. What Liereyy loves to do is just camp, sit back, invite pressure, and then go up to the Imperial Age and dominate everything with arbs. Slam is waiting for a critical mass. Slam doesn't have the better army right now. Knights and siege is a lot more expensive than just crossbows. And when Britons can be that much faster to the economy, it gets really tricky. But again, there's always that clock for Britons in early imp. If they don't kill and then the Frank player has a lot of control, you never know. He's going to try and drop a castle here. Liereyy now moving out. Castle drop with 5 villagers feels really bad. Also, I don't know if the hill is necessarily good. I think he's actually going to try and race imp. I don't know exactly. There's the castle. Oh, man. There's monks. There's crossbows. There's the siege. Okay, siege goes down. Flame doesn't lose any knights. And this is not something you normally have to worry about if you're Liereyy because you have 8 ranged crossbows. Okay. Oh! Nice shot. Castle might actually go up here, guys. Wow, I mean, if that castle wasn't there, I think Liereyy runs up the hill. Imagine what I said, though. Remember, like, a couple knights with light cav, and that just changes the entire fight. I think both players will go imp. These monks are just going to heal up the crossbows. Liereyy probably adding a market somewhere. There's the market. And then so what he'll do is he just wants to get a bit more gold right now because he needs to click up. Now he's heading over to stone for a future castle. Market for Slam. His eco is actually pretty well balanced. It's just that knights are really expensive. I think he needs to locate his areas of weakness at his base and where Lierey's going to try and hit. Because this castle makes Liereyy go to either side of his base and probably not the middle. So if I'm Slam, first off, heal up the knights in the castle. Oh yeah, good work. Hopefully that'll pay off. But yeah, I'm thinking... Well, this area here and this area here is still the most vulnerable. It's just so tricky to get everything down. He's adding outposts here. So at least he'll know. Also, herbal medicine. So his units in the castles heal up faster. Liereyy has had a better economy, guys. Liereyy should probably start sending these monks off to actually get some relics here in case it goes late. And Liereyy has the cheaper army, but the most effective army. I guess it isn't cheaper because he made so many of them, but like one crossbow much cheaper and very effective with range. And then Britons get even more range starting in the Imperial Age. Another TC over here for Liereyy to protect more golds. He's going to be worried about getting raided from Slam. I think with Liereyy being an imp a little slower, Liereyy might be a little bit more tentative. Slam starting to stonewall. 76 vills for him is really light if you're trying to go for Cavalier. If anything, it would normally be in an even game, it would be the opposite. It'd be 96 vills for the Paladin player, and it'd be 77 for the Archer player going imp. But not with Liereyy. Liereyy killed a villager and an outpost there, so now Slam knows something's up. And he's like, dear God, I need this one. I need this one. I need it! Oh, come on. Jeez, man. I mean, just once? Can't you just let someone have the shot, Liereyy? My God, dude. All right. I really thought that was the moment, man. They were also on the hill. Liereyy was about to hit imp. Ugh. It was written in the stars there, but okay. Not to be, not to be, not to be. We have Cavalier on the way and armor, and Slam says, I want to raid. And this is good because Liereyy being late means he's been unable to damage Slam yet. And he's going to have to react. So let's see how Lierey's damage control is. Building houses. Slam will see this. Slam could still break through houses with Cavalier. Those houses will still go down. So what we're going to see from Liereyy is this army defends. So will be Arbalest and also Pikemen, eventually Hal probably. And then this army goes to kill. But no, he's scared. But I love the outpost because he does see a lot and he will kill these 4 villagers on gold. Slam also stopped producing. Is there a world where he's saving for Paladin right now? Typically, Lierey's just punish in these positions. Slam is playing with confidence right now that I just wouldn't have. I would be spamming the Cavalier to kill. But he gets in and he's clicked Paladin. Slam does have 1 relic, by the way. Liereyy doesn't have any. And Slam will clear this so he can get back on gold. Yeah, great job from Slam. And now he can put his foot on the gas. And now he can make a lot of Paladins. This is interesting, man. This has been a really good series. I think Slam has shown me... I mean, I've got all the confidence in the world that Slam is not going to get relegated. I think top 3 is going to be a bit of a tough ask. But, like... 3rd or 4th is where I would place him within the group. We can talk more about what that group looks like maybe after this series, but... Okay, I compliment a player, and now he's going to take a bad fight. Run away. But yeah, I mean, he's played really well. You've got the best Britain player in the world here, and we'll see what Paladin can do. The problem would be it's just Paladin. It's so expensive to get just Paladin. And is just Paladin enough against all this army from Liereyy? Okay, another outpost gets taken out with the entire army. Feels a little weird. He's added a few axemen. Ideally, having Paladin and axemen would be the play, but you're just never going to have the time to get that. It's all too expensive. Thanks, Daniel. Appreciate it, man. I've been hard at work. Okay, Slam wants to hold this position. He'll have Paladin in 15 seconds. I think he takes the fight. We'll see if it's a good idea to take the fight, but I think he takes the fight. Because he figures it's not going to get any better. Just hope that he can take the fight before all the Halb upgrades come in, and hope it works. Frankish Paladin, he's got tons of HP here. At least take out the Trebs with few arbs, though, Slam. At least take out the Trebs. Now, what Liereyy wants to save is his Arbalest. He's actually brought in his monks here to get conversions on the Paladin. All of his Halbs are gone. And maybe now Slam needs to back up. I understand taking the fight in the first place, but I think at this point, maybe you're just going to waste too many Paladins. And so, yep, Slam backs away to his castle. Not a bad thing, though. He could heal up in there. And I like to see him spread out a little bit. Get a couple Paladins raiding in the different areas of the map on the sides. I'm not sure about everything, but Slam says, yeah, let's just send the boys. We'll also research conscription in this castle. Paladins are going to take out the town centers really quickly. Okay, this TC is going to go down. Liereyy now probably massing Trebs to take the castle out. Those villagers are on the run. But yeah, the key is anytime you see the army, you just run away from it. Slam will run, and he's going to head right to the gold, I hope. Now, meanwhile, he's trying to get Paladins on the other side. Oh, snipe the trap. Snipe the... snipe the trap. Yeah, he's going to get the trap. That buys him so much time. Also, here, there's Paladins from Liereyy that he just converted raiding Slam. But Liereyy has to save this. And so Slam probably won't take this TC because he'll see the Arbalest, but he's making progress here. He's making good progress. Does need to run away. I like how Liereyy waited until he was really close here. Because now as Slam runs, Leary's getting all these shots. But also look at the amount of Paladins from Slam. Slam has 50 Paladins. He's on the gold. He sniped the Trebs. He's still in the back here with 20 of them. And he's even massing Trebs right now. Straight Paladin is normally just not a thing, guys. It is normally not a thing. Can Slam keep up with it? It's so expensive to do this. Also, Liereyy could maybe trap him here. If I'm Slam, I want to kind of meet up with my other group here because you know the Arbalest are over here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, do you run? What do you do here? Okay, he's going to go after the gate and just run back this way. So smart. So smart. Liereyy needs to get walls down and stop this army from leaving. This army is now leaving as well. This is crazy. He says, screw skirms. Screw Axeman. I'm just going to go straight Paladin. And can he escape? No, he can't escape. Oh, pain, pain, pain. I think. Is there a hole somewhere? I mean, he's giving himself time to make more Paladins, which is good. But, oh, God. Now look at the army count for Liereyy. Feels very similar to game one. Let's see if Slam can actually take out castles now. And if he can keep his own up, because that was such a big problem for him previously. You can run in and out with Paladins for long enough until it hits a point where their army hasn't been dealt with, and he needs to deal with the army. Is Trebs here on the castle from Liereyy, and Lierey's deploying all of his Trebs. Lierey's going to lose those Trebs. And also, Slam's castle might stand, and he's got a couple Axemen too, which will help a lot. Wow, Slam. Now, who knows if Slam takes out the castle, but taking out the Trebs is pretty big. Also, Slam having 3 relics gives him the edge in terms of the long-term gold, and he's not going to be trapped here. So he can at least run away. Feels to me like what Slam's missing in these instances that someone like slightly above him in level would do is an immediate switch back to this gold. Like this here is dying as this is happening with other players. And it's only just a couple Paladins, right? Like, think of players like Hera, Viper, MBL. They know where the army is, and so they send a small force over. He's going... How he's playing this is insane. He's sending everything he's got, all at once. Still really needs to hold this middle position, because if he were to give that up to Liereyy, what a problem that would be. See what I mean? Liereyy would just with a small force... I don't know. I mean, it's so bold it might work. I'm just worried the guy's going to run out of gold here. Lierey's going to lose all these villagers, though. And honestly, Liereyy doesn't have much gold either. Slam now making bombard cannons against Britain Arvs. Again, I'll state it. Slam needs a win, man. I think you could argue he deserves a win in this series as well. Great kills there. He can just loop on out. He shouldn't have to stay. Liereyy never moved out of his base in Castle Age because he thought he could win the game early amp. And Slam says, screw your freaking halbs. Screw it, man. I don't care. I don't want you back on this gold. I'll have more paladins where that came from is what Slam's thinking. By the way, little raid here from Liereyy finally makes it. Where's the arbs for Liereyy? Super defensive with the arbs. This is honestly, it actually makes me feel good because this is the position I fall into with Britons all the time. If I try and play how Liereyy played, I just so reactive to everything and I eventually just die. So it's nice to know that he could have the same problems. Slam is really making him pay. But also, paladins are stupid expensive. So if Slam doesn't take out castles here, if Slam doesn't actually go for the kill, still at this point, like, look at the kills. So a lot of the kills for Slam are on villagers right now. What a beast, though. What a beast. He's keeping Liereyy off of this gold. And he will probably loop in back to this gold. And also, Liereyy is going to lose stuff over here, which could also include a monk going to get that relic. Meanwhile, we have halbs from Liereyy. They actually got so much value over here. And, okay, again, Slam needs to get out with his paladins. He's just looped in on the gold. That's being dealt with. He needs to get out with these paladins. Lierey's pop is still 200 right now, guys. And Lierey's just massing those trebs. Oh, man. This is crazy to me. He is making skirms, which I like, because he's out of gold. It didn't take long, did it? He's out of gold. But he's got trebs. And Liereyy knows he needs Warwolf, which will be an important tech, and what an important moment in this game. Oh, man. I think the goal for Slam is just take out the castle. You don't need to actually engage against this army. Just take out the castle. He just killed all these vills. Take out the castle and back up. And for the love of God, deal with these halbs finally. Okay, with Lierey's Warwolf tech, his trebs will not miss. So he will take out Slam's trebs. Liereyy has so many Arbalests still. And these Arbalests just... they have been here for the whole time. There's still golden come out there. Don't tell me Lierey's going to keep this up. Wait, that's enough paladins, I think. Liereyy might keep the castle up, but there might not be many arbs remaining. Look at the skirms. The trebs. Unfortunate for Slam, man. Unfortunate for him. He'll lose his treb. That's so sad. But Liereyy, he will lose his trebuchets. Slam, 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 slam. Sorry. I'm sorry for the noises, man. He deserves a victory, man. You're so close. You're so close. You just gotta... just a couple moments here or there, Slam. Frankish skirmishers are not very good. How many times has Liereyy been close to kill... Slam been close to killing a castle in this series and not be able to finish it off? He still has the hill, though. Oh, and he's now raiding with more paladins. That's why you're losing your voice? Slam's fault, man. It's Slam's fault. The skirms just want gold units. That's all they want, is to kill gold units. Even if you lose 10 skirms to kill 1 gold unit, I think it's worth it. And Liereyy desperately wants this gold. Liereyy drops down the 90 villagers. Slam's only at 100 something, though. But Slam knows to just keep hitting the golds. It's just... his paladin number's so low now, guys. He's only got 21. He can't really afford to make a lot more paladin. I would like to see a mad dash with these villagers to take whatever gold he can from here. I think it's worth it. Also, Liereyy hoping to get this relic. Maybe Slam could make a move for it. Warwolf trebs. Can Liereyy defend his trebuchets here? He'll see the bombard cannon. It's Britain range. Of course, he should go in for it. But he actually backs away. This is amazing for Slam. Wow. Also, the fire from the trebs stayed there? That's a weird visual bug. Slam has a lot of stones, so Slam can continue to hold. I think you save your paladins for the kill shot, and you raid with light cap. I think raiding with paladin was always going to be super ambitious. You stop raiding with paladin if you're Slam. You only raid with light cap, and you save the paladin to threaten trebs. If Liereyy would have lost this castle, man... so many good things could have happened for Slam, as he now gets architecture, 185 pop. Does Slam deserve a victory here? Yes or no, chat? What do you think? I think he's deserved a victory in this best of 3. I understand game 1 was a bit of a throw. He's played so well. But Liereyy realizes that Slam is out of position now. And Slam is going to be waiting with his cannons. He's got 3 of them. This is where the game could be won by Slam. If he can hold this, he should pull all these villas to repair. Can he hold this? Look at Liereyy. He sees the cannons. He doesn't actually get one yet, which is pretty interesting. Meanwhile, Slam is like, here, poke my pointy boys. No, poke my paladins. The Halbs dive. Little loop-de-loop here from Slam with the bombard cannons. It's 180 pop for both. This game is nuts. Slam patrolled here. I think he needs to bring his army in. The Arbs see it. A Treb does go down. Slam's got the stone to repair this, but there's 4 Trebs from Liereyy. And there's so many Halbs. The castle should fall here. I just don't think Slam has it in him to take out 4 Trebs in the time he needs to. And can he actually win this, guys? The military count is so high right now for Liereyy. Slam's castle will fall, meaning he doesn't have the protection of it anymore. And the unit queue is so high for Liereyy. And if he's got pure Halb, he's going to win this game. Because Frankish skirmishers are too weak. They're not effective. Not even against the Arbalest, really. And all of Slam's paladins are going to disappear. I am so sad for Slam. Lierey's such a god at holding on. I can't believe it. But Slam, man. Oh. He put up such a good fight in this series. And he calls the GG. The opening round is just so disappointing for Slam. I think you look back to game 1, and I think game 1 was a massive throw. You have to get that victory for your Slam. Suddenly, this game doesn't sting as much. Liereyy, though, opens up with 3 wins. Just incredible, dude. Just incredible. I mean, so many players died to those Paladin raids. Slam, I'm unsure on, and this would be the whole series, so I suggest you watch the first game. Ridiculous game we just watched. The level was just insane. I'm unsure on what it is. I'm not sure if it's Slam misjudging situations to take out castles, or if it is Liereyy being really good at defending his castles. Like, honestly, Lierey's best micro in this series was Treb micro. I'm not kidding. Game 1, his Trebs killed so many bombard cannons. He was always in the right spot at the right time to take castles. When he needed to back away to save his Trebs, he did. When he moved forward, he did. When he needed to move forward, he did. Same exact thing here. A 3-0, but probably one of the most competitive sets that we've seen for Slam. You have 4 more rounds now, man. You've got Vinchester. You have Song. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Vinchester, Song. Backed and Capoch. Can Slam get wins off of those players? I think the answer is yes for most of them. I think Vinchester's going to be really tricky, but Slam needs to have really good results against Backed, Capoch, and Song. Because, again, you play 5 rounds, you tally it up. At the conclusion of it, 2 players are relegated out of Platinum, and then the other 4 get to stay in, with the top 3 being able to move on. I'll be excited to see how Liereyy performs against some of the other players. Slam is going to be cheering for Liereyy to just 3-0 everybody else at this point. That way, no one else gets points off him as well. And obviously, there's a bit of financial incentive for Liereyy to do it as well, $40 per win. And then, of course, being able to get good seed to move on past everybody else. Now, for all we know, maybe Liereyy gets smacked by everybody else. But my God, dude, I am ending this cast feeling very bad for Slam. He could have won this series 2-1. Maybe even 3-0, right? Game 2 was pretty close as well. Just Liereyy just able to somehow squeak out the victories there. Slam with 33,000 food collected and 18,000 gold. He did actually collect more resources in this game. It's just that Albs and Arbs very cheap, and for Liereyy, he was able to keep his Arb ball big enough, and eventually just his Halb ball got big enough, and they're able to trade so cost effectively. And yet again, guys, thanks for watching another cast of T90 Titans League. We have so much to come. I will also have weekly roundup videos going to the T90 Extras channel, so check out the T90 Titans playlist. I don't know when exactly we're going to do it or when exactly this hits YouTube, but usually it's going to be Mondays, I think, because some games are played on weekends. We cast some stuff on Mondays, and then I think we'll probably just sum up each week. 5 weeks of group, then quarterfinals, then semis, then finals, and then that's it for the first season. There's also then after, like the weekend after that, I will also be covering the quarters, the semis, and the finals of Gold League as well. So lots of good action in the lower league. And eventually the Silver League will happen leading up towards Season 2. So all these different players trying to compete, trying to move up and down. All good stuff.